guys, it's Cloudy. How are you all? Today we're going to be talking about a K-drama that's very, very close to my heart. I recently binge watched it and I definitely have to say that it lived up to the hype for all of the reviews that I saw online. So without further ado, let's get started. Today's K-drama corner will be focused on Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha. Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha is a slice of life romance that follows two main characters in a little town called Gongjin. If you love chick lit, any contemporary romance such as Book Lovers by Emily Henry, The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hong, or It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey, this is a K-drama that is perfectly up your alley. The female protagonist is a dentist from the big city of Seoul. She ends up going to Gongjin because it's the anniversary of her mother's passing and she had really great memories there as a child. So she visits Gongjin. Because of some circumstances, she ends up staying there and opening a clinic. And she ends up meeting the male protagonist, who is a handyman sort of helper around the town. Everyone knows him, everyone likes him. It's basically the city girl falls in love with the countryside guy kind of dynamic. We see it a lot in rom-coms, we see it a lot in like Christmas romances, and it's a tried and true trope that, if executed well, can receive a lot of love from fans. The cast is great. Shin Nina, the beautiful actress, plays Yoon Hae-jin, who is the dentist. Yoon Hae-jin is a really bona fide city girl. She likes shopping, she likes splurging on brands, she likes everything clean and tidy and pristine because she's a dentist, and she's not really cut out for the down-to-earth, rough and tumble life by the seashore. She runs into a couple of misfortunes and accidents that befall her when she is visiting Gongjin. She ends up getting help from Kang Seon-ho's character, who's named Hong Du-sik. Hong Du-sik was living in the city at a time, but it seems that ever since he went back to Gongjin, he's been there all the time. He's really fitted into the community and he's a really core member of the neighborhood because he's always fixing lights, doing part-time jobs, helping out whichever stores or cafes need an extra helping hand. He's a really interesting character because he's very clever and he has a lot of smarts, but he chooses to live a very simplistic life. And one of the interesting quirks about his character is that he has a certificate in literally everything, from indoor renovations and constructions to barista coffee making to origami folding, basically like hundreds of certificates for like random hands-on skills. There are a whole cast of other side characters that make up the core community in Gongjin. One of the community leaders opens a raw fish restaurant that sells hue or sashimi. There is a person who was a washed out singer from another generation who's opened a cafe and has a daughter there. There are a bunch of little harmony grandmas that hang around, cut up squid and clean the squid for the markets. There's just a lot of different people from all walks of life. One of the great parts of this show is that every side character that has a backstory or some sort of conflict gets enough screen time and gets enough attention for the audience to actually build up sympathy and connection with them. So they're not just side characters that are filling up stereotypical roles. They actually come off as decently well-rounded characters. So now let's talk about a really special concept that makes the series especially enjoyable to watch. While I was watching the show, the main reason that I found the show was so captivating is because as you follow the characters' interactions, their relationships, friendships, and conflicts in this everyday, sleepy little seashore town, you slowly start to feel and understand this concept of chong, which technically translates to emotion or affection. Korean culture has a concept called chong, which refers to the affection, relationship, good feelings, memories, nostalgia, and sentimentality from people to people and people to objects, people to places, and people to memories. So any sort of really good affection and close feeling that you can feel towards someone or something can be described with chong. For example, if you go into a Korean restaurant, they will give you a lot of free side dishes that are refillable. That's a way for the store owners and store workers to create chong with their customers. If you work in a Korean company, or you've probably seen in a lot of Korean dramas, people go out to eat and drink together, or they have company dinners after work hours, and that's a way for the company to create chong among their workers. It can also be as simple as a grandmother or a family member piling food on top of your plate. That feeling of like affection where your heart is about to burst out Jong is used to describe a variety of complex relationships that's related to the affection and the feeling of belonging and togetherness with others. There's also a pande, opposite concept, that is called miunjong, which is like hateful affection. So it can be used to describe a lot of the enemies to lovers dynamics in shows, and also in regular life. If you have a friend or a sibling or a family member, someone in your life that you see all the time and you tend to bicker with them all the time, and you think to yourself, we're like oil and water, we don't mix, but somehow they contribute so much to your daily life that if they were gone, you would kind of miss them. And so this bickering also creates a sense of closeness, and there are 1 or 2 relationships in Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha that explores this concept as well. There are a lot more articles online about the concept of Jong, and it's something that is pretty hard for people to understand if they are not Korean. Maybe if you've lived in Korea for a time, or you've been around a lot of Korean people, the way they sort of care about each other feeds into Jong and how people sort of feel that sense of belonging together. There is nothing overly dramatic in the story. The way the story unfolds is pretty realistic. There's no crazy third person causing a love triangle. There are no dramatic incidents where people end up in the hospital with fatal, life-threatening surgeries or life-threatening conditions. Even the slight love triangle in the series is handled really realistically, and I really appreciated it because I get really annoyed when there are just side characters that are literally there to fill up a character trope just to annoy the main characters or incite jealousy. This show made me feel really, really warm and fuzzy inside, and when it was over, I literally cried so much because the last moments were really, really touching and really heartwarming, and I never felt like the show was forcing me to feel attached to the characters. The side characters, like, there's nothing super attractive about them, but as you follow their everyday lives, there are certain things that just make you slowly form small attachments, and by the end of the show, I feel like I have drama hangover, and I totally don't want to say goodbye to the characters. The 2 main characters are so lovely together. Shin Mina has dimples, and they literally cast Kim Sun-ho, who also has dimples, so they're like double dimples couple, and they're so bright and shiny when they act on screen. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this K-drama corner, and I hope you guys give this show a watch because it has a pretty big, wide appeal to a lot of audiences. And if you like this show, let me know what you thought in the comments below, or what kind of other shows that I should review next. I know there are a lot of upcoming seasonal shows for spring. If you're interested in that, don't forget to check out my spring recommendations vlog that was uploaded a few days ago, and I will talk to you guys in my next video very soon. Bye!